Detroit and Green Bay tonight. It's a pretty good, to be honest, I think this is a kind of a nice showdown. I really do. I think this is a good showdown game. I like it. It's better than a lot of the ones that we've had lately where the teams like score 16 points. I expect that to change a little bit, although I would still take the under on this one. But yeah, so I'm kind of pumped up for it tonight. Sheets, what do you have any? We haven't done like too many showdown things lately. We did an early look once this year. Is there any like overall things that you're trying? Or
yes. I have a couple of observations about this slate. Before I do that, I have two kind of announcements. One, it is official. It is raining.
Raining in New York. Okay.
It is raining here, which is about 20 miles from the game. The other thing I wanted to mention to you, and I've been alluding to this regarding the Ryder Cup, you're going to have to play one lineup, Bobby. Okay, and the reason why it's very, very brand heavy. So you have Xander and Patrick Cantlay, who's just basically like the big lock pairing. Okay, they're cheap. They play together forever. And right off the bat, round one, we get to play freaking Tommy Fleetwood against them. Okay?
Love it. Okay, you're right.
So I am playing him at captain, and he's paired with McIlroy, you know. And
wait, at captain, so that's how they're doing it? I didn't even look.
Yes. So I am playing him at captain, and we're going to go right after the chalk pairing right out of the gate. So I
love it. Unfortunately, I'm going to be doing the same thing as you, though.
Whatever. That's two guys.
All right.
Yeah. So I just wanted to remind you that for $12 or whatever, how much you want to play in it. I mean, like it's
I'll play the $25.
You have to do it. You're forced to do it.
Yeah.
And you also get Burns and Scheffler together. I mean, like this is good stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so here's the deal with the football. So what happened was, so Watson and Aaron Jones have been out, right, or threatening to be out, whatever. And what happens is that the other players were priced up and not adjusted. So it's funny. There was actually some controversy today as whether somebody like released that like Aaron Jones wasn't going to be playing, and then they're like, "Oops, I made a mistake," or whatever it is. But the fact is that Aaron Jones and Christian Watson are both now active, and so essentially, like everybody is there's like no value like on that whole team. You know what I mean? So it creates like an interesting situation. So what's going to happen is you could play like those guys at overpriced price tags if you want to, because they're going to be. I think like if you wanted to play like AJ Dillon, for example, tonight, or like the who's the other like the Packers receiver that was it was better off with Watson out, whoever it was. Crap.
Oh, well, I mean, you could just say Reed or Dobbs.
Reed or Dobbs, whatever.
Or Musgrave.
Right. They might be a little lower owned. The other thing is that these the Christian Watson and the Aaron Jones, there's also a little bit of dispute of what kind of workload they're going to get. Like, are they going to come right back from injury and just go right in there? So, like, if you're willing to take a chance that, I mean, they still have Q tags for specific, like on Watson. And if you want to just go totally overweight on like Watson and Jones, you can do that too. I mean, I don't know. I think the Packer side of this is actually pretty interesting. Now, with respect to the game, I think that the majority of the builds are going to be probably 3-3s just because it's a pick 'em game. So I'm kind of inclined to try to be funny and like get off that a little bit and play just 4 2s and 5 1s, or at least get my share of 5 1s. I have no idea who's going to be the 5 really in this game. I have no opinion. It's a pick 'em game. Both teams have shown flashes of whatever. I mean, who knows? But so that's like my overall view. The other thing about it is because of the lack of kind of like really good value. Like I think that that these kickers are going to get jammed. So I think that if you play kickers, you're probably playing into high ownership. I don't know. I don't know why I think that this slate is more interesting than the majority of them. What are your thoughts on like the game, on the slate? What do you got here?
I like the Lions. and I like the under of the game. I'm just gonna probably for most Thursday games be saying under. It hasn't failed yet. We'll keep going with it. I like the idea of double stacking the Green Bay running backs.
Ooh, I like that.
I actually think the biggest piece of things was actually not something that you mentioned, which was the fact that we are going to have what's his name, Montgomery, as the most popular captain, and he is. I just think that's an interesting thing because I like Gibbs just as much, if not better, and if I play Montgomery and the captain, the one thing I can promise you is that Gibbs will be in the flex.
So you like the double running backs there as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Rich, I understand your question. The Lions defense is solid. Well, they have some solid pieces, let's just say. But are you asking because you want to play Love or because you want to play the Lions defense? Because based on the question, it sounds like you want Love, but I don't think that any of this has any relevancy unless you want to play their defense, because playing Love is probably something you're going to do in most of your lineups anyway. He's going to be the highest owned player, and for good reason. Anyway, so I would love to know to be able to answer that one a little bit better. I like the idea, even with Aaron Jones and Watson coming back. I don't think it does anything different for me what I'm doing in this game. I don't think it makes one bit of a difference, other than maybe playing them as well. I am still going to play. I think they're both going to be somewhat limited, especially it's kind of weird because it's on a Thursday that they're just going to let them both play. I'm still going to be overweight a lot of the other guys. The one guy who should see the biggest hit would probably be Dobbs, and not Reed. So I'm still going to stick with my Reed. I'm still going to play some Dillon. I'm going to be doing 3 running backs in a lot of lineups. Mostly it'll be 2 from Detroit and 1 from Green Bay, but I will have it flipped a little bit. And I like the idea of both tight ends a ton. I think both of them as captains are really, really good ideas.
Now, just because you think it's a tight end type of game, you mean?
No, because I think both these tight ends are rookie, and they're like huge. I mean, they were high picks for tight ends. Obviously, Goff throws to the tight end. He throws the tight end more than anybody else in football over the past 5 years, and he has a superstar of tight end in the making, in my opinion. And Musgrave, I love as well. And they're well priced, and they are not going to eat up any captain ownership that's going to be significant enough for me to avoid playing them. So I am going to be heavy on both of the tight ends.
I happen to like Khalif Raymond a little bit tonight. A little bit. I like him. I like him a good amount actually. So like Raymond, obviously St. Brown, whatever. But St. Brown's, it's not the easiest to play him. I mean, you could play him, but you can't just jam him in without making some concessions. But I like Raymond. You know what I don't have any of? I don't have any just ridiculous plays tonight. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe I could I
think it is a good thing. I think
that's a good thing.
Been extremely negative overall for everybody who's played them so far.
Yeah, I mean, the original guy that I was getting to, like my early thing, I literally didn't even know who he was. Some Wilson guy, I think. I don't even know who it is. Some Lions receiver. I don't know who it is. What Wilson? Williams? Something?
I don't know who you're talking about.
It was exactly.
They don't have a receiver named Wilson or Williams. So
you're just better off.
Oh, you mean the guy who's not Jameson Williams, who's not eligible to play for another 3 weeks, I think?
I'll tell you who it was. It was in case somebody wants to play him. It was so he's out? Okay, maybe this was the guy. Maybe it was Jameson Williams. Okay. I don't know who else.
Yeah, he's going to be the guy's his talent. That guy might be the most talented receiver no one's ever heard of in football. Well, actually, that's not true. Everybody who knows football knows.
Oh, no, I know who it was. It was Antoine Green.
It's just
he actually had a target 2 weeks ago. He had a target, and he caught, and he caught it. He was 1 for 1 for 2 yards.
Well, the junk guy that I'm considering is Marvin Jones, who looks dead.
Yeah, he looks dead.
But he's, if we're going to talk about the other guys, why, on a Thursday night game, a guy at least, I mean, I don't know. he's so cheap, but he's not like crazy cheap. And he just sort of like I ended up because there's the only other guys I really considered in this really low tier below 2K would be Jones, Brock Wright.
Yeah.
Those would be the two that I would look at. I'm not even sure that any of the other guys are eligible. I mean, like DeGuara maybe from Green Bay.
Yeah, I thought of that.
That one makes a little bit of sense to me. But I'm going to stick to my backup running backs, my starting tight ends, and have that be my focus of how to get different on this slate.
What I'm doing, just so everybody knows, I am forcing out salary this time. I'm forcing out 48.8 or less. When I did it, I got lineups that look normal. So if I could do that, I think that makes some sense. Now, what I'm getting, I'm gonna be under on the St. Brown. I'm only gonna have right now like 20% of him. So that's I'm definitely under on that. And you know what else? I think I'm gonna be under on. I mean, it's really not the biggest deal, but I don't have that much, if anything, of the Lions defense.
I don't think so. I totally disagree that the kickers and the defenses will be popular. I do not think either of those things.
Okay. Okay.
I don't see even I mean, maybe I'm trying to look at. I get through like 30 players before I get to the Lions defense in terms of ownership.
Okay. Yeah, you should be right.
And I also, before I get the Lions defense, and then Carlson and Patterson might be like in the maybe 20%. I think probably it seems like a good number for them. And we got Phila, my man, in there saying Lions on the road, no good. What are we basing that on? It's always funny to me when we take teams' historical things and we just assume that it's always going to be the same. But like the Lions, in their only road game this year, they won at Kansas City. So
that's a good. That seems pretty bueno to me.
Yeah, the defending Super Bowl champions. So we're just gonna say, the Lions, they can't win a game on the road. I don't know about this.
Excuse me, they won at Kansas City, and forgive me if my information is inaccurate, but then they followed it up with a home loss to Seattle.
That's right. That's exactly what they did. In terms of not trusting the Lions, sure, maybe I'm willing to buy into the Charger-like narrative of you can't trust this team or the Vikings, but I'm not as willing to buy into it as I used to be. I think this is a different team. And as JDW says, as a wise man once said, it's already priced in. Absolutely, because if this game was in Detroit, they would be 6-point favorites. Maybe not quite that high. Probably 5.5 or so. Yeah, maybe it would be that.
I do have kind of the opposite. I don't know if you put this your bets of the day or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I'm sort of on the opposite side of you. I think if
you like the Green Bay.
No. I like the over here.
Oh yeah, then what would be up? I mean, in all fairness, my bet was at 46.5, not at 45.
That's pretty big, man.
I got an extra 46.5.
Oh my god!
On a Thursday game, it's a high total, but this is a game that we would be targeting at closer to 50 points if it was in Detroit or if it was on Sunday or something like that.
Yeah,
you would see this game right in that 50 spot. And as far as the receivers go, I like the it's weird because Josh Reynolds has had the two good games. I know Khalif Raymond got more looks last week. I'm going to go right back to Josh Reynolds. Although I don't know that I said at one point this year I was going to start the year off on Josh Reynolds and then jump off of him. I don't know when I'm supposed to jump off because this seems like a good spot to do it, but I'm still playing a decent amount of Josh Reynolds. And I like Love better as the quarterbacks. Well, that's not true. I'm not especially interested in the quarterbacks, but I kind of have to play them a little bit where I'm double using the receivers. And even then, you may not have to do it because you can count on a PPR type of narrative. So I guess that's my whole thing is that I'm going to be using the 4 running backs, the 2 tight ends, potentially either DeGuara or Wright also. So at least 2, and then some spots, maybe 3 of the tight ends. And that doesn't leave me a whole lot else. And I'm willing to leave a ton on the table today. I also think Jaden Reed is still a really good play. And I think that, Khalif Raymond, you like him. I'm more on the Reynolds and St. Brown side, but I think it's a totally reasonable pivot.
Yeah, I'm leaving some money on the table here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm telling you, I'm sort of feeling this slate. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go. Did you put anything on State Kings? If you did, I'm gonna go in there.
Yeah, I think my football stuff does pretty well. People have kind of wisened up and decided they won't bet on me for baseball.
I gotta put my own on there. I didn't forget to do that.
Yeah, get your own up. I tried to look for yours earlier today. Nothing.
Yeah, I just.
It's too bad they didn't price down Wicks, the receiver, because I would have liked to have taken a stab at him even with Watson back.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, yeah, I mean, but he'll be really low owned, right?
He'll be like completely unowned, but he also like legitimately may not see more than like 2 snaps.
But if for some reason if Watson is sort of limited, I mean, maybe I don't know.
But how many? They were running 3 wide receivers sets last week because they were down 18-0 or 17-0 in the fourth quarter. So that's when he got his production. So that's when they started running the 3 receiver sets. And I'm just saying, one of these days, this Gibbs is going to break.
He is, but he definitely is.
Yeah, and I love the idea of using him as a captain option. Like, these quarterbacks could both play well and still not end up with that many points tonight. I just think that.
You think, yeah, in the end, probably the defenses are probably a good play.
Yeah. I didn't get to, yeah. It's pretty wild, the stats that how they change every week early in the season. Anyway, I don't understand how people ask questions.
What happened?
Just it was nothing. Just a message. Some people just don't understand things. Like, I don't need messages from other people on our site who work with our site saying, but I'm going to do this later. And I'm like, no, we're doing this right now. That's what I was saying. And we got a bunch of people in here. So guys, pop in questions and thoughts. Let us know what you're doing. Philo's got the 4-2 for the Packers. I'm basically not trying to get to a certain number for each side. I have 4-2 of both sides, and I have some 3-3s. I have yet to create a 5-1 though. So we will see if I can get to
really? I got plenty.
I mean, of course, but I haven't built that many of my. I mean, I have built a few of my lineups, but not enough.
Right.
To get to the 5-1s yet. My 5-1 is mostly probably going to look very Lions heavy. I don't see it working with the Packers. I just think there's too many things for the Lions. There's too many weapons that they can use between Montgomery, St. Brown, Goff, Laporta, Gibbs, Reynolds, and then the cheapies. I just think 2 of them end up on there. But I could see it with the Packers, where the only guy is maybe Dillon or Jones. I guess both. I guess 5-1s both ways makes some sense.
By the way, here's a little bit of news. I am officially registered for the WSOP online event on Saturday.
What is it?
I'm playing in Jersey. I'm playing with my friend Arkady.
It's
a $500 turbo.
Nice.
2 re-entries if I need them.
Uh-huh.
And I set up an account and I deposited, and I'll be firing at 6:30 p.m. Saturday.
Oh, awesome, man! I'm flirting with an idea, and I've actually been doing some training videos, like watching some training videos and stuff. Even though it's nothing that I'm not used to, and I've watched so much poker content. I talk with my friends who all still play for a living. But I'm thinking of flirting with the idea of December, maybe going to the Bahamas for the WSOP Bahamas thing.
December?
Yeah, they got some good tournaments.
Oh, I thought it's not till January. It's in December, huh?
December, yeah. No, not the PCA. The WSOP, whatever.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what they are now.
Yeah, but it could be good. People are really into the kickers tonight, and just from what people are popping in.
I think so.
Maybe it is going to be a little more on.
Yeah, I think it will be.
It's fine with me to, look. It's made sense for a lot of these states. The Lions love to go for it on 4th down. The Packers have some gamble in them too. I'm gonna just treat that as a reason to try and go a different direction personally. But I totally get the kicker idea. They do seem like a little bit cheap even.
Let's go. Let's grab some Bobby Firestone stuff here. Let's see. Players, Bobby.
I've got a lot of Sunday stuff up, so it's hard to know.
Oh well, may as well fire that. As long as I'm here.
It's all sold out.
Look at all this stuff sold out. We're doing this. Oh my God, NFL. Oh, you played 2 entries in that. Okay, that's why it's so much. I saw an 888 in NFL.
For football, that's a Sunday.
No, it's because it's 2 entries, right? Okay.
Yeah, for Sunday, yeah.
So we're feeling it, dude. We're going 48-48.
Oh, okay.
But when I can't go 48-48 in the 3-point stance because there's only $47.12 available.
Wow.
So we got to go back to 24-24. We got it. The OCD just really takes over here.
Maybe it should be 8-24. Well, it certainly should be like less than that based on how I've been doing. But if it was the you don't do the double Kobe, the 8-24. The 24.
What's that one now?
Because Kobe's number was 8 first.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. Now
that's why 8-24 is like Kobe Day, August 24th.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're in. And wait, I can get a little more of the walk. Oh, you just posted the walk off, right? Okay.
I posted it a while ago. It's just nobody's buying, and I don't blame them. It's a lousy tournament.
Dude, this is good hedging by me because I know that there's no way you have anything on that. So it's like
that's true. It's actually fair.
All right, so I'm fired up with my own stuff. I'm fired up with State Kings. I bought some Bobby State Kings. We're trying to finish out this baseball season strongly, So wait, in your big one. I mean, do you want to give me a little hint who you're using?
Yeah. So what I've got right now, I actually do have I've got a Montgomery captain, but I've got Gibbs in the same lineup.
No, I meant the baseball.
Oh, my big one. I have Luzardo, Bassett, and then 3-3-2.
Beautiful.
Cubs, Toronto, and Colorado.
Oh, no Dodgers. Okay.
No Dodgers.
Right.
I don't know. Excuse me. I changed it to the Dodgers. I changed it over. I looked at the wrong one. I changed it over to a 3-3-2 with 2 Dodgers. So scratch that last part.
Just as it starts raining, you get Roth post low chance of a delay.
Low chance of a delay. That's great. I'll feel good about that. Any other questions for guys for football? We've got a ton of people in here for football. So, like, guys, ask questions. Say what you're doing. Here, Scott asked me. Scott said, "Bobby, you play much of the 3-3 in the high stakes, or do you stay 4-2?" I think people. Here's my thought. It's different for every single slate. There's absolutely no general strategy that's accurate. I don't care what anybody tells you. Oh, 5-1s. You got to play 5-1s all the time. Oh, you got to play 4-2s. They're all full of what you know what. They're all
full of it.
It's all slate dependent. There's no such thing as it not being slate dependent. And anybody who thinks that a lineup construction of 3-3 is too popular, or 5-2 or 5-1 or 4-2, it's absolute nonsense. I'm just telling you that part right now. Complete nonsense. There is absolutely no factual reality to anyone always doing this or that. What they will do is if a team's favored, they might slant toward the team that's favored 4-2 or 5-1. Yes, that happens too much, which Sheets always touches on and says everyone's playing this like it's going to be a XYZ number of points game, when really, what if you just flipped it around? Yeah. And that's a good way of looking at it. So I don't have any general rules like 3-3 or 4-2 or 5-1. I think that no one should. That's my take, Sheets. Do you think I'm wrong about that?
No, I'm in. I mean, listen, you know me, I don't play that way at all. You know, whatever I get, you know, unless, you know, so I'm not worried too much about it. I mean, really, like that type of stuff. It's like people say what's a good amount to leave on the table? It really does depend on the slate. Remember, there was a couple of slates last year, Showdown, where literally like one of the top projected plays was like 800. Remember those when those Baltimore guys, when the top receivers were like 800, and right. the optimal lineup was even like when you just ran it in cash, there's going to be like 4,000 left on the table or something.
Right.
Like that, you know.
Yes.
So it's whatever. I actually, Ryan, did a little more of my own stuff rather than rely on SaberSim for this one. What I did, just to let you guys know. So what I like to do is use the SaberSim algorithm to supplement my takes and my whatever. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to get either Watson or Aaron Jones into the captain in like a decent amount of lineups. So what I did. I just locked in. Say, like, if I knew I was going to play 50 lineups, I just locked in Christian Watson, and then I had SaberSim run their stuff. You know what I mean? And then likewise, I do the same thing with Aaron Jones. Very primitive, right? Like you could have done a group or whatever it is, but that's the way I wanted to do it with my various takes. And then I forced in 30% Khalif Raymond just because I just liked him, So you kind of like can blend in like your own takes, and you have SaberSim. Do you know what I like to always call SaberSim instead of an optimizer? I call it like a smart randomizer. You know what I mean? Like it takes what you can just the median and just basically just gives you a little bit of randomization that you might not otherwise come up with. So it's not really an optimizer. It's like kind of like a reverse optimizer. It's kind of like I like to call it a smart randomizer. So you put your own takes in, and then you let it kind of like fill in the rest for you. So that's the way I'm using it tonight. Any news of Christian Watson is going to be limited tonight. There is no news on that. And my thought is kind of the opposite. I think if they're playing him, if they're announcing these guys in on a short week, they're just playing him. So that's kind of my.
I'll tell you what. There's a lot of speculation that they're going to be limited, and I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't have any reason to think, although it is an important game,
they're playing the goddamn freaking Lions at home. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
And they're underdogs, though. These are good teams.
But you know what? This is like they're one of their games every year. It's like they're 3-point underdog, whatever it is, and they're making them active. We're gonna keep these guys on the sidelines in a close game. I'm
gonna throw out though real quick a couple things because some people are asking some things. Okay, so Peter Porker is asking, would you build in on I'm guessing on. I'm just gonna translate on DK Gibbs, Montgomery, and Dillon as a good way to go, or would you need to add a quarterback to the lineup, or who would you use? I can't really build your whole lineup for you. I basically post my early builds in all of our premium stuff, so you can see what I've done so far. You can check that out, but I can't really tell you when we say like when we get to 4+ players, then I'm just telling you what lineup to put in, and I don't want to be responsible, positive or negative, for that. To be honest, but I am using lineups with Dillon, and people are saying Dillon isn't very good. I'm going to use Jones. What is these words like good? Last year, everybody loved Dillon. Now he's washed. Every time somebody has a bad game, they're washed. It's just an overreactive society that especially as it relates to football. And it's so off the rails that it's like you hear something so many times because there's so much out there that I just don't think you put that. I just don't think you should put anywhere near as much stock in it. Does Dillon look a little slower? Yes. Is he still a big back who can score a touchdown? Yes. Is that what I care about? Yes. Don't worry about it. Like, it just is way, way, way over when it comes to showdowns. Now, if you're talking about a giant slate and you're worried about playing one of 3 guys out of 12 that you could play at the position and all this, then yeah, maybe it factors in. But when you just have one game and a showdown, you're really just hoping for the guys who have a chance to get in the end zone for the most part. That's the truth. And Dillon absolutely does. And as Rhodey's making a case for here, he's saying Captain Dillon, use Dillon. I'm on the page of using Dillon tonight.
And I would say this to answer your question: somebody is not good, doesn't look good. Like that very well may be true, but we're talking about a showdown slate. You don't have to be good. You have to fall into the end zone twice. You know what I mean? Like and remember, AJ Dillon with Jones back is going to be probably pretty low owned, I think. So I don't care how bad he is, if you want to know the truth. It's like whether a guy is good or not is almost as irrelevant as what his projection is for a showdown slate. You know what I mean? It's I would not worry about that at all.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to call out anybody for asking me. I'm just saying once you get past a certain number of players, where it's really just like building the lineup. But I actually love building lineups like that because, as you're pointing out, Peter, it does change your construction. I think that's a really good thing. That's exactly what you want. You want to build something that's unlikely to be as duplicated.
This is what DFS is. DFS is picking the weirdest looking lineup that actually has a chance to win. That's really what DFS Showdown is. Because listen, I can pick a unique lineup. I can play all guys that aren't playing. That's going to be really unique.
Right.
So somewhere in the middle is the reality. So,
but we have seen a number, and I don't know the exact stats, but we've seen a ton of these win, and we've done really well with them as well. Me and Rhodey have definitely had some big wins with the double running back lineups, the double tight end lineups, those kind of things on Showdown, because people just don't generally want to build that way.
Right.
Yet somehow these same people they end up doing it. I don't know. It's crazy. Sheets, you ready for this month? NBA and NHL are coming soon.
Somebody commented and somebody made a tweet today. It was something about. It started with someone making a comment about gambling, and now people are if you retire from gambling, you might not be as good at maybe it won't be able to comment on anymore. And then you compare that to like an athlete who, when they retire from football, they still can like participate in other forms, announcing and stuff like that. And somebody made the comment about gambling is that with that physical being in shape physically has really nothing to do with DFS except for the NBA DFS, except for playing NBA DFS. So I actually tweeted on there should be like age restricted contests on for NBA. I think that if you're over 50, that you should be able to like play separate contests so you don't have to keep up with the young people that can be up all night like following all the NBA stuff. Am I ready for the NBA? No. But I will be, and
I got you on that one. This is one thing I feel pretty good about. This is coming just at the right time after my worst sporting season of any time for baseball, and the NBA coming along. I couldn't be more excited to get back to NBA and having to work and stress out and all that stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I want all of it. I don't want the randomness of the NBA. I want to freaking go.
But dude, most important thing I was saying, NHL, man, I almost fired the freaking preseason slate tonight, but but you know what I did, by the way? I told you I started on my Owner's Box account. I played like a couple of lineups last night on Owner's Box, and I doubled my money in baseball.
Oh, beautiful!
$50. Like I won like 100 or something like that. So yeah, so we're ready to go. All right, Ryan. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave you to your retirement contest for the NBA. Yeah, I do.
I'm going to throw out one more thing for Scott here. Yes, I do think Gibbs and Montgomery are viable. Would I be doing in small field? Less so in small field than large field, but definitely I would still have some.
Backup kicker and the captain. Let's go.
Backup. Some crazy guy is going to win this like 15 years down the road with a backup kicker, I swear.
Backup kicker and the captain.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to say good luck to you guys. You guys have been a blast. Please like and subscribe before you get out of here if you haven't already. Join our Discord. I'm going to post a little link to it because we've got a lot of you guys in here, and we've got a fun, active Discord, especially if you're a member. But we do monitor all the channels and go back and forth with you guys, talk some strategy. A lot of smart people in there. So come and join us.
And sorry, I will not be able to put up sheets for the Ryder Cup. It's just too complicated.
I don't even know how you would do it.
But exactly. But I would point out that that again, I think that the Xander Cantlay pairing makes just so much sense that I'm going to be playing Fleetwood McIlroy, go right after it in the first pairing, put Fleetwood in the captain. It's very on brand for all the money that we've been firing at Fleetwood. It's perfect to just continue to fire it, and so I'm going to be in there for that.
So it starts at what, midnight tonight,
something like that. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say, and I actually don't even care. I like the European players better than I like the American players in this particular tournament. So I have Europe winning, and I don't really understand why the U.S. is favored. To be honest with you, it makes zero sense to me whatsoever. But good luck to the U.S. and good luck to Europe in that one. But I do think Europe takes it down.
All right, see you later.
All right, good luck, man. Have a good night, everybody, and join us.